Welcome to the 2023 Northern Kentucky Chamber Annual Dinner, where we celebrate this unique place, Northern Kentucky, where community leaders work together to accomplish big things, where any success is shared success, where horses and bourbon meet the arts and sports, where small towns meet big city amenities and culture reigns, where advances in health and education lead to a thriving, vibrant economy and a better quality of life for all, where we move forward as one. This is Northern Kentucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome members of the Northern Kentucky Brotherhood of Singers as they perform America the Beautiful.
From sea to shining sea, oh beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for paint your dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea.
And with that incredible rendition of America the Beautiful, we want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce's 2023 Annual Dinner presented by Fifth Third Bank. How's everybody doing out there? I think you guys can do a little bit better than that. I'm told we have nearly 1,000 people in the building tonight, so I'm gonna ask that question one more time. How's everybody doing tonight? There we go. I actually had ulterior motives. I needed a little bit of a minute to catch my breath. I had to run in here because I just got off the news, and when I heard the gentleman up here singing, I said, oh shoot, I'm on the stage right after them, so I needed just a moment to collect myself. So my name is Kyle Inskeep. I am one of the evening anchors for Local 12 News. I like to say some of you may recognize me as your evening news anchor. If you don't, you should make better decisions on where you get your news from. That always gets a laugh. I'm gonna have to retire it here shortly. But it is my honor and pleasure to serve as your MC for this incredible event. I wanna go back now and give a round of applause for that amazing performance of America the Beautiful. By the Northern Kentucky Brotherhood Singers. So this year, the Chamber is celebrating Moving Forward as One to recognize the accomplishments of individuals and businesses in the community that they are making to make this region a great destination to live, to work, to play, to learn, and also to give back. So during our celebration tonight, make sure to connect with the Chamber on social media and share all of your incredible experiences, because I know you're gonna have a great time at the dinner tonight. Now I'm gonna ask that you please wait for your table to be called to go through the buffet line, and we will return shortly to begin the program.
Just begun to get our share of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. We know we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is our family jewel.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage, Kyle Inskeep.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Did everyone enjoy their dinner? If you did, make some noise for me. Let's give a round of applause to the incredible service staff here at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center for all of their hard work right now. So we're excited to get things started, and to begin, we're going to take a moment to recognize tonight's incredible sponsors. I'm going to ask you, though, to please hold your applause until all of our sponsors have been recognized. If you heard what I said and you're not going to applaud, everybody nod your head for me so we're all on the same page. All right, I like this. So first up, our title sponsor, Fifth Third Bank, and you're going to be hearing much more from Fifth Third Bank in just a moment. I think that was the Fifth Third table maybe that clapped. We love Fifth Third, but we're going to hold our applause. I know it's hard, guys. Our host sponsors, the Northern Kentucky Convention Center, Masterpiece Creations, and Prestige AV and Creative Services. We would like to give a special thank you to all of our host sponsors. Our presenting sponsors tonight, Amazon, Heritage Bank, Limelight Videos, and Scooter Media. You're going to be hearing more from some of these sponsors throughout the program as well. The wine that I know all of you are enjoying this evening, we enjoyed it at our table, is brought to you by our wine sponsors, Paul Himmer Company, Republic Bank, and Taft. I know it's so hard. Just give everybody a round of applause right there. All right, let's now take a moment for a message from our centerpiece sponsor, Civista Bank.
At Civista Bank, we've been helping families and businesses of all sizes since 1884. We continue to grow with our customers and in communities by building genuine relationships. You'll find a reliable partner, flexibility, and the personal attention you deserve. Our advanced digital tools allow you to take control of how you choose to bank, while your team of trusted experts works together to provide creative solutions focused on you.
Give them a round of applause. And of course, a big thank you to all of our table sponsors in the audience this evening. You can learn much more about these companies in your program. And please, please make sure you are always doing business with a Northern Kentucky Chamber member. Do we all agree on that? And finally, thank you to our media partner, the Cincinnati Business Courier, for their support of this incredible event. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's give a big round of applause for all of the sponsors supporting this evening's amazing event. So at this time, I would like to welcome Kala Gibson, Executive Vice President, Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer with Fifth Third Bank, to come here to the stage now to say a few words on behalf of our title sponsor. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good, good, good. So I'm about to admit something really quick. There's a teleprompter up here, but the teleprompter isn't for someone who's 6'4". So I actually cannot read this. So I am going to get started. I'm just going to do it off the cuff. How's that? So thank you for that. So again, it's really, really nice to be here, and it's really nice for Fifth Third Bank to be the presenting sponsor. I believe for over the last decade, we really, really love this community. I am feeling the love here. This is my first dinner, first time I've had the opportunity to attend this great event. I'm upset with my Fifth Third family because you haven't invited me out. This is the first time, but I feel so welcome here in Northern Kentucky. I was telling a funny story about the fact that I tell people I live here in Northern Kentucky because I live at the airport, and it's the idea. Did somebody was this a drum thing that I heard back there? Nonetheless, just really excited to be here. So I am the Corporate Responsibility Officer for the bank. I'm responsible for inclusion, community development, as well as sustainability. And so what that does, it gives me a unique opportunity to see what this region is actually doing. When I get a chance to see the passion that's here, the empathy, the kindness, the camaraderie that you have for one another, it is amazing the way that you come together as a community to take care of each other. So our goal is to continue to be a part of that, from across the river to make sure that we're supporting you in the way that you want to be supported, and the idea that this region is unbelievably unique and unbelievably strong, and that together as a community we continue to make it more special. So thank you very much. Congratulations to the corporations tonight, as well as the individuals who will be honored. It is a great honor, and we're just happy to be a part of that. Thank you.
A big thank you to Kalan. I just told him I don't think he needed the teleprompter, okay? In my business, we call that ad-libbing, so if you want to come do a report tonight at 11 live from the scene, we got a spot for you, my friend. So the Chamber would also like to recognize those members that are part of the Investor Circle at this time. So these organizations are leading the region by making the largest investment in your chamber. A big thank you to all of our sponsors and investors for your support. Let's give them a big round of applause. And now it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage your Northern Kentucky Chamber President and CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause, Mr. Brent Cooper.
Good evening, everyone. So you know there is a lot of wine drinking going on and bourbon drinking going on because someone asked me if I have a comb they can borrow. I said, actually, I do have a comb. I just can't seem to part with it. All right, I see how this is going to go. How about those amazing Brotherhood singers? Aren't they fantastic? Let's give them another round of applause. And if you didn't know, that silky smooth voice you heard on the one Northern Kentucky video when you were coming in was that of Northern Kentucky's own Chuck Session, who is now with United Way in Northern Kentucky. I saw him with Moira Weir earlier. They told me that United Way has donated over $2.5 million to Northern Kentucky charities in the past year, and that certainly fits with our theme tonight, which is moving forward as one. You'll be hearing a lot this evening about all the ways our region is moving forward as one Northern Kentucky, whether that's advocacy, economic development, workforce, tourism, education, or transportation infrastructure. We are moving forward as one. Why? Because we're stronger together. It's our superpower. It's the Y in NKY. We hope you'll walk out of here tonight inspired by this wonderful place we call home. And you know we can't move forward without our signature industries in Kentucky, bourbon and horses. As we bring dignitaries and new talent to the region, you can always bet we'll make a beeline for some of these wonderful venues here in Northern Kentucky. And we also bring folks to the absolutely new, amazing, state-of-the-art horse racing venue with Turfway Park. And think about all the wonderful world-class amenities our region offers. And don't forget about our top-notch sports teams, including a Super Bowl contender, as long as they're not playing in Cleveland. Cleveland fans, just keep it to yourself. And now, thanks to the Kentucky legislature, we finally, after years, got sports wagering finally passed this year. So from right here in Northern Kentucky, you can bet our teams are going to be making their mark on the national stage. My friend Julie Kirkpatrick at Meet NKY recently reported Northern Kentucky's tourism industry has grown to nearly $2 billion. We are officially the #2 tourism impact area in the Commonwealth. And it doesn't happen without a collective investment in tourism that moves our region forward as one. And why do we talk so much about the fun, the tourism, the vibrancy? Because we need to remind our employees, our visitors, and ourselves. It all impacts our ability to attract and retain talent. And that's the top issue for all of our businesses. We know that attracting and retaining talent leads to business growth, economic development, and a slew of ribbon cuttings. It all makes a difference. Take the new direct flight to London, which kicked off this year. It cannot be overstated how big of an economic win this was for our region. Thanks and congrats to everyone at CVG for landing this amazing connection. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. And sometimes we need to remind folks, Northern Kentucky has the largest airport in the state. We also have the lowest unemployment and highest workforce participation rates. We bring an awful lot to the table. And Lee Kroom, who leads BNKY, the artist formerly known as Triad, recently reported the state of Kentucky's GDP grew 12% between 2011 and 2021. Lexington and Louisville saw 19% and 22% growth, which is amazing. Look at Northern Kentucky's growth during that same time frame, over 42%. That's advanced manufacturing, logistics, health sciences, IT, finance, construction. The data confirms this is a wonderful time to be in NKY. And the growth continues, yeah. And the growth continues. We saw some really cool projects this year, like the new Kroger Distribution Center, where I heard Kroger now has 112 stores and nearly 20,000 associates statewide. Or projects like the Duke Energy Partnership with Amazon, which boasts Kentucky's largest rooftop solar array with over 5,600 solar panels across 800,000 square foot Amazon Air Hub rooftop. Amazon's Air Hub, the largest operation in Amazon's history, was built with sustainability in mind, another example of moving our region forward as one. And of course, within walking distance of where you're sitting tonight, there is nearly $6 billion of investments coming, including a new Brent Spence Companion Bridge, the former IRS site development right next door, the Riverfront Commons walking and biking path, which will finally connect across a new 4th Street bridge, and then of course there's the Ovation Project. These are just some of the things happening in Northern Kentucky. And then of course there is the new 1NKY Center, which officially kicked off last month. The 1NKY Center is going to be amazing. I'd like to thank Karen Finan at the 1NKY Regional Alliance, Gene Shore at the Northern Kentucky Catalytic Fund, the Northern Kentucky Port Authority, the Kenton County Fiscal Court, all the commissioners, and especially Judge-Exec Chris Knockelman, and the City of Covington's Mayor Joe Meyer, and all the Northern 1NKY partners, BNKY, Meet NKY, the Horizon Funds, who are all coming together to join with the Northern Kentucky Chamber. I saw Bill Butley here tonight. Thanks for his leadership, and Corporex is the developer. Paul Hemmer Company is going to be the general contractor, and all of the support from folks like the Hale Foundation, Dries Foundation, R.C. Durr, and Horizon Funds. Folks, without everyone I just mentioned, this project doesn't happen. Thanks to leadership from Governor Beshear, and especially our own Senator Chris McDaniel, chair of A&R in the Senate, who with support of Senate and House leadership and our Northern Kentucky caucus, ultimately secured $15 million towards a health sciences lab, which will also be part of the 1NKY Center. Without all of them, the 1NKY Center just doesn't happen. We have some amazing businesses already involved in the health sciences lab, CTI, Bexion Pharmaceuticals, Gravity Diagnostics, and leading the way, of course, our own St. Elizabeth Healthcare. This lab will spur additional investments and further position our region as an international leader in health sciences. The One Northern Kentucky Center truly is an incredible story that I hope you'll share. Visitors, dignitaries, and our neighbors will see it as a symbol of what we are capable of when we move forward as one Northern Kentucky. Another great example of moving forward as one are the outcomes that have been achieved through Grow NKY, growing regional outcomes through workforce. Things like Lift Up, which has helped over 1,000 Northern Kentuckians with substance abuse disorders get into recovery, improve their workforce skills, and get back into jobs. Or things like Youth Science, which has empowered over 22,000 Northern Kentucky students with insights into their abilities and future career interests. Or the dual-based credit hour programs that are happening for our high school students. Randy Poe at the Education Council will tell you that thanks to Thomas More, Northern Kentucky University, and Gateway Community and Technical College, Northern Kentucky is leading the Commonwealth in dual-based credits and students getting associate degrees while in high school. We are seeing double-digit, even triple-digit growth, and that's real savings for our families and a true investment into our future workforce. Make no mistake about it, investments in education are critical to our future economic success. And with that thought in mind, I see Gateway's President Figueroa is here with us tonight. There he is. I see President Chillo's with us here tonight. And I'm sure that they, along with the leaders throughout the education community, all the volunteers, I'm sure they will join me in welcoming the next president of Northern Kentucky University, Dr. Katie Short Thompson, who's with us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a big round of applause. And I also want to give a shout out to Interim President Benita Brown, who has been absolutely fantastic. And she's a guest singer at Suits at Rock that's coming up. I know John Jamashko's glad I got that plug in. She is awesome. I got to see rehearsal the other day, and she's fantastic. So thank you. There is a lot happening at the Northern Kentucky Chamber these days. Thanks to more than our 1,100 volunteers and an amazing team, we saw continued growth and engagement in programs and events this year. Over the past 5 years, your Chamber of Commerce has seen a 16% increase in membership. And I think that's happened in part because of all of our wonderful volunteers here tonight. Things like Encounter. This popular new program is designed to keep talent in the region. Before going through the Encounter program, we asked folks if they plan to stay in the Northern Kentucky region, and 60% said yes. But after they went through Encounter, 90% responded yes. We are convinced if you want to keep people in this region, get them engaged with places like the Northern Kentucky Chamber and get them involved in the community. It's a terrific talent retention strategy. And that's what we're seeing happen with our Women's Initiative, which continues to grow. Look at these numbers. We think it's one of the best in the country. Shout out to all the Women's Initiative volunteers. And then there's our talent strategies and diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. This year we launched Northern Kentucky at Work podcast segment, where workforce partners sharing hiring and retention tools and best practices. We also provided quarterly HR 100 programs, hosted the annual Talent Strategy Symposium, and had a terrific Investing in Equity Summit. Clearly, these efforts are having a positive impact on the business community. We saw an increase this year in women-owned, veteran-owned, and minority-owned business members by nearly 10%. Also this year, you saw the impactful advocacy program that you've come to expect from your chamber in full force, whether that was the Day in Frankfurt, legislative preview and recap, or our government forums. At all of those events and conversations, you saw us champion issues that you've told us are important to moving the region's economy forward. Issues such as tax reform, infrastructure, child care, investments in dual-based credits and performance-based funding, sports wagering, and more. And along the way, as we always do, we recognize next-generation leaders, businesses that are making an impact, outstanding women, and leaders that are making a difference in our community. With over 120 events and programs each year, our Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce continues to lead, connect, and advocate, and helps move the region forward as one. Now, I'd like to recognize some folks that we have with us tonight. I'm going to begin with our board of directors. Would our board please stand? I know they're dispersed throughout the room, and I'm going to say a few things while you're standing. This group is made up of 14 small business owners, 11 of the top 20 largest employers in Northern Kentucky, 20 women, 10 people of color, representing industries across Boone, Kent, and Campbell, including advanced manufacturing, logistics and distribution, health sciences, IT, finance, and construction. They work extremely hard. Would you all please join me in thanking them for their leadership? Now I want to single out John Hawkins. You're going to hear from him later, but during his tenure so far as board chair, John has spent some long nights and evenings in service to not only our organization, but also the entire Northern Kentucky metro region. John, thank you for all you continue to do for Northern Kentucky. Now we have to wait one more year before John joins this next group, which is our past chairs. If you are a past chair of the Northern Kentucky Chamber Board of Directors, would you please stand at this time and be recognized? Mayor Haas, I saw you over there. And by the way, it's Jim Parsons' birthday today, one of our former board chairs. Happy birthday, Jim. I also want to take a minute to recognize and thank our partners in the community for all you do. We cannot move forward as one without all of our partners throughout both sides of the river and throughout the entire state. We appreciate all our partners in the region and want to thank you for all that you do every day. Thank you. Now I'd like to recognize the next generation of chamber leaders, our Northern Kentucky young professionals, our Next Generation Leader Award finalists, our Leadership Northern Kentucky class, Encounter NKY, and Regional Youth Leadership classes. And it's been a few years since we've done this, so I'm gonna, just for fun, let's see what kind of impact we're having on Northern Kentucky. If you're a graduate or in the current class of LNK, if you've gone through RYL, if you're gone through Emerge, would you all please stand and be recognized? If you're an alumni of any of those programs, so as you can see, our future is bright, and we are moving forward as one. To advance the region, it is critical that we have a constant dialogue with our elected officials. We can't move forward as one without alignment throughout the region. And as I've said many times over the years, they want to hear from you, our members, about how they can make things better. How can they make our region more competitive? Federal, state, and local. You see some of the officials on the screen, but this list doesn't include all the county commissioners, mayors, and city councils throughout our region. Yes, I've seen officials from both sides of the river here this evening. We're so glad you're here. If you are an elected official at any level, would you please stand and be recognized? I'd also like to recognize the hardest working and most dedicated chamber team on the planet. Our chamber staff's right over here, I think, for the most part. Give us a big wave. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report tonight that the Northern Kentucky business community is strong. Because of your engagement and commitment to this community, we have one of the best chambers of commerce in the country. And thank you all for allowing me to continue to serve as your chamber president. It continues to be an honor. Congrats to all the award recipients. Enjoy the night as we celebrate moving forward as one. Kyle?
Let's give it up for Brent one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Every year, Brent, I look forward to the jokes because you deliver them and you deliver them well, my friend. So during dinner, you heard from our presenting sponsor, Limelight Videos. Now we want to pause for a message from presenting sponsors, Amazon and Heritage Bank.
Heritage Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Annual Dinner. We were founded by entrepreneurs, so we're passionate about partnering with small and mid-sized businesses for success. Your grit, ingenuity, and aspirations still inspire our best banking. And if you need a mortgage or financial planning advice, Heritage Bank's special brand of personal service extends to every part of the bank. This is our town. This is my bank.
And a big thank you to Amazon and Heritage Bank for your support. It is now time to celebrate this evening's award recipients. First, though, we would like to say a very special thank you to Harris Media for producing all of the award videos you're going to be seeing this evening. Thank you for all of your hard work. Let's give them a big round of applause. So the Chamber is pleased to once again partner with the Greater Cincinnati Foundation to present the DeVue Cup. Let's hear more about this year's honoree now.
The DeVue Cup was created by the Northern Kentucky Fund of the Greater Cincinnati Foundation to honor individuals who make a profound difference in the Northern Kentucky community now and into the future. On behalf of GCF and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, I would like to congratulate Mike Hammonds as the winner of the 20th DeVue Cup. Mike's longtime leadership has tremendously advanced philanthropy and its impact in our region, and that's why we're so excited to recognize him tonight. Mike was an original architect of GCF's Northern Kentucky Fund, which is now celebrating its 25th year. In 1998, during his term as founding president of Forward Quest, he teamed with regional leaders around the need for philanthropic assets dedicated for Northern Kentucky, and he partnered with GCF in creating an endowment for the exclusive benefit of nonprofits in Boone, Campbell, and Kenton counties. Stemming from this visionary leadership, GCF today invests millions of dollars in Northern Kentucky and manages a portfolio of 163 funds. Kentucky Endowments received another phenomenal boost with the introduction of the Endow Kentucky tax credit, spearheaded by Mike in his role as executive director of the Kentucky Philanthropy Initiative back in 2010. Through this unique, highly tax-advantaged giving incentive, leveraged through community foundations, more than $50 million has been captured in charitable endowments across the state, 11 million of which is here in Northern Kentucky. But Mike is perhaps best known for being such an extraordinary champion for children. Since 2011, he has served as Vice President of Advocacy for Learning Grove, leading efforts to increase public awareness of and support for young children. He also serves as Director of Kentucky's Voice for Early Childhood, a statewide online advocacy network for children. A University of Kentucky graduate, Mike's very long list of awards and nonprofit board service exemplifies the depth and strength of his dedication to Northern Kentucky. Now, let's hear more from Mike about what motivates his leadership and support in the Northern Kentucky community.
I'm humbled to receive the DeVue Cup. It's a tremendous honor, as reflected by the many extraordinary people who've received it in the past. Well, I think it's important to thank Judy Claves and Frank Summercamp and the members of the board of Forward Quest, and also the leadership of Greater Cincinnati Foundation. I'd like to also thank my wife, Kit, and my children who've always been very supportive and always helped me stay centered. I've had their full support and encouragement through the years, and that's irreplaceable.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Mike Hammonds as the 2023 DeVue Cup honoree. And presenting the award tonight is Matthew Randazzo, President and CEO of the Greater Cincinnati Foundation. Mr. Hammonds getting the first standing ovation of the night. Let's give him one more round of applause as he exits the stage right there. All right, I'm going to ask you to please turn your attention back to the video screens for the presentation of the Robinson Award now.
The BNKY Growth Partnership is proud to sponsor the 2023 William T. Bill Robinson III Northern Kentucky Economic Development Award. This award is presented annually to an individual or organization demonstrating significant advancement of economic development efforts in Northern Kentucky. On behalf of the BNKY Growth Partnership and the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, congratulations to the 2023 recipient of the Robinson Award, Paul Hemmer Jr. Paul's career spans more than 50 years, with more than 40 of those as CEO of the Paul Hemmer Company. In addition to being the chief executive, Paul provides support to the project teams and assists with the company's business development efforts. The Hemmer business is a personal business. Paul and his team make it a priority to build true relationships with customers, creating open lines of communication to ensure success for everyone. Success that includes a growing Northern Kentucky due in no small part to the Paul Hemmer Company. Paul is a proud graduate of Purdue University and is actively involved in many industry and community organizations, including the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, the 1NKY Alliance, the Spirit of Construction Foundation, and the United Way, to name but a few. Let's learn more from Paul about making an impact on Northern Kentucky's economic development and how we can work together toward a successful future.
To receive the William T. Robinson Economic Development Award is really gratifying. My whole career has been building buildings for successful business, and primarily in Northern Kentucky. My dream for the Paul Hemmer Company for another 100 years is to continue to grow and expand and be successful. For the region, I envision continued growth and prosperity. I look to continue to improve on the education in the region, as well as the economic fabric that makes this region successful. Northern Kentucky is a humble place. The people that have really built the region are very approachable and very supportive and really contribute to the next generation. And I look at my parents and grandparents and what they have done to encourage the growth of the community, but also to keep the community grounded. The people that have really made this possible is the Paul Hemmer Company team, number one. And then number two, it's been our customers and the people, the professionals that we deal with. Number three is BNKY, formerly Triad. They have really become the engine to make the economic growth possible in Northern Kentucky. And most importantly, though, is my wife, Mary, who has supported me in my role as CEO of the Paul Hemmer Company, but more importantly, has pushed me to be the best that I can. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring Paul Hemmer Jr. as the 2023 recipient of the William T. Bill Robinson III Northern Kentucky Economic Development Award. And presenting the award on behalf of BNKY Growth Partnership is President and CEO Lee Kroom. And a big congratulations once again to Paul on this recognition of your impact here on the Northern Kentucky region. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Chamber is proud now to present the Northern Kentucky Unity Award, sponsored by PNC Bank.
PNC Bank is proud to sponsor the 2023 Northern Kentucky Unity Award. The Northern Kentucky Unity Award is presented to an individual or organization who has shown leadership in bringing Northern Kentuckians together and seeking regional solutions to address and solve common challenges and issues throughout the NKY Metro. On behalf of PNC Bank and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, congratulations to the recipient of the 2023 Unity Award, 1NKY Alliance. 1NKY Alliance's leadership has transformed Northern Kentucky by putting energy, talents, and resources around initiatives that produce measurable results. In a year where we're celebrating the importance of moving together as one, 1NKY Alliance's dedication to collaboration proves that there is power in numbers and that we can make big changes when we work together towards a goal. Let's hear more about One NKY Alliance and what it means to be recognized for its leadership and vision for the future.
In accepting this award on behalf of the One NKY Alliance, there is a realization that in every community's history or cycle, a group of leaders gathered together to actually envision what can be next for their community. When the One NKY Alliance originated in 2017, there was an appetite for change and transformation, and it was a moment that the community at large seized and said, we want to be the best version of ourselves. Let's band together, let's move forward together. The recognition that this unity exists, that there are many shared initiatives in place, is a great tribute to the people of Northern Kentucky. Our vision for the future of Northern Kentucky is one of transformation. It's a welcoming community, inviting all those across many different areas. And we are also pursuing world-class standards in unity, health, and education. So a welcoming, unified One NKY is a great vision for the future. We certainly want to recognize the One NKY Alliance board members, for without them, none of this would be made possible. Their energy, their commitment to the community is very telling. It has certainly helped push us forward. There are so many other people and other groups in the community who have made success possible at various levels. So to point out one person is certainly dangerous for us, but to say thank you, Northern Kentucky. We're on an upward trajectory and we need to continue in that manner. So for that, I say thank you for the recognition. We're very proud of Northern Kentucky and we look forward to continued improvements for many years to come.
At this time, please welcome Karen Finan, President and CEO of One NKY Alliance, to accept the award on behalf of this collaboration. Let's give her a round of applause. And presenting the award tonight is Warren Weber, Regional President of PNC Bank for Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. And a big congratulations once again to the One NKY Alliance for this wonderful recognition. All right, please turn your attention to the video screens once again as we present the Pichelle Award sponsored by Humana.
Humana is proud to sponsor the 2023 Walter L. Pichelle MVP Award. Named in memory of the Northern Kentucky Chamber's first volunteer leader, the award recognizes an individual member who has provided outstanding volunteer service to the Chamber as a committee member, committee chair, or in any other special capacity during the past 12 months. On behalf of Humana and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, congratulations to the recipient of the 2023 Walter L. Pichelle Award, Pat Crowley. Pat is a founding partner of Strategic Advisors, LLC. He worked for 27 years as a journalist, including 16 years for the Cincinnati Enquirer. Most of his time at the newspaper was spent in the Northern Kentucky and Frankfort bureaus. In 2007, the Kentucky Press Association named him the state's top columnist, and he has been named one of the country's top political reporters and bloggers by the Washington Post. As a Kentucky political and government writer, Crowley covered nearly 20 regular and special sessions of the Kentucky General Assembly, the administrations of 6 governors, Republican and Democratic national conventions, and several campaigns. Whether serving as the MC for Eggs and Issues or representing the region on an important topic in Frankfort, Pat's wit and insight are always uniquely in touch with the pulse of Northern Kentucky. He is a beloved ambassador for our region and is widely respected across the Commonwealth. It would be very difficult to find a more fitting representative of what Northern Kentucky is all about than Pat Crowley. Let's learn more about what it means to Pat to be recognized for his leadership, service, and dedication to the Northern Kentucky region and chamber.
Well, I was incredibly honored and humbled by when I found out about the award when Brent Cooper called me. There are so many people that volunteer so much more than I do and give so much more back to the Chamber. I do love being a part of it. It's great to be recognized. And for an organization I've always respected and admired, it is really something. I'm in Frankfurt a lot. At first was a reporter and now as a lobbyist. And you always hear in Frankfurt about how Northern Kentucky is successful because it pulls together and works for the better good of the community. And the Chamber is one of the catalysts of that. It's always been dedicated to that. You know, that's just a testament to this community never stops moving forward, pulling together, and thinking big. I mean, the first person I have to thank is my wife, Pam. She always supported me as a reporter, and it was really her idea for me to start this business, Strategic Advisors. Gary Moore, Steve Pendry, Mark Polisinski, Dave Heydrich, Ray Beal and Wade Carlisle, Jack Moreland. SD1 was our first client, Jeff Eager and Bob Elliston, and just so many people over the years, you know, people that come to mind. My business partner, Greg Green, Jay Fawcett, who I started the company with, Mark Guilfoyle, who's always been there for me. I can mention so many others, but these are people that have always been there for me, and I've learned so much by just being around them, watching them, bouncing ideas off of them. I go to the annual dinner every year, and always admire the people that won the awards, and just to be a part of that has just been really one of the true honors of my career.
And they're already standing up. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Pat Crowley, recipient of the 2023 Walter L. Pichelle Award. Presenting the award is Marissa Tishner, Director of Medical Distribution Strategy with Humana. A big round of applause for Mr. Pat Crowley. Big congratulations there once again to Mr. Pat Crowley. Let's give him one more round of applause. Hold that award up. You earned it, my friend. So now the Chamber is pleased to present the Northern Kentucky Inclusive Excellence Award, sponsored by St. Elizabeth Healthcare.
My name is Chris Johnson, and I serve as Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for St. Elizabeth Healthcare and St. Elizabeth Physicians, and I have the high honor of presenting the Northern Kentucky Chamber's inaugural Inclusive Excellence Award. This award was created to recognize an organization or person who is advancing the region through measurable DEI efforts. Advancing these efforts can take on many forms, bringing forth greater economic impact, strengthening our growing workforce, taking concrete steps to create a more welcoming, more inclusive region for all who call it home. This can only be done via intentional, sustainable action, born from the creation of policies, procedures, and initiatives that elevate equity and increase belonging for those they impact. It is with that in mind that St. Elizabeth and the Northern Kentucky Chamber would like to congratulate the Life Learning Center on being the very first recipient of the Inclusive Excellence Award. Life Learning Center has been working toward permanent and transformational change for at-risk citizens since 2005. Leveraging a collaborative approach, the center helps to break down barriers to employment by providing the training, the resources, and the support to help those in the Northern Kentucky community secure and maintain a living wage career, thus making it easier to both be and bring their highest and best selves every day. So impactful is this work that this coming fall, the St. Elizabeth Journey Recovery Center will proudly open on-site facilities at Life Learning Center, bringing yet another critical service to the region. Let's hear more from Life Learning Center about their efforts to make the Northern Kentucky community a more inclusive, more sustainable, and more socially responsible community for all its citizens.
On behalf of Life Learning Center, we are honored and humbled to receive this tremendous award. Life Learning Center serves as a catalyst in the community, serving the at-risk population. And in doing so, we're part of the vibrant and growing economy in Northern Kentucky. Inasmuch, Life Learning Center stands ready to embark on this journey to create a revolutionary exodus of inclusivity for individuals who are re-entering society. In 2022, we are proud to report that the graduates of Life Learning Center have cut recidivism rates which is defined as reincarceration, to 8% versus that of the national average of 83%. We would like to thank our generous donors and sponsors. Without their support, we could not provide the programming that we do, and they understand the value that we bring to the community. Secondly, we would like to thank our employer partners, many of whom are sitting here in this room tonight. Finally, we would like to thank our candidates and members that allow us to participate in their transformational journey. They remind us daily the impact that we're having in our community to support them on their journey. Again, thank you for supporting transformational employment in this region.
And ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our 2023 Inclusive Excellence Award winner, Life Learning Center. Accepting on their behalf tonight is President and CEO Alicia Webb Edgington. And presenting the award is Chris Johnson, Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion with St. Elizabeth Healthcare. A big round of applause. Congratulations once again to the Life Learning Center on all of its tremendous success. Yeah, give them one more round of applause. So the Chamber is pleased to partner with Horizon Community Funds of Northern Kentucky now to present the Horizon Award.
Horizon Community Funds of Northern Kentucky is proud to present the 2023 Horizon Award, which recognizes the extraordinary contributions of individuals who exemplify dedication, integrity, and honorable service to Northern Kentucky through community leadership. Recipients are individuals who have devoted their time, talents, and expertise to serve the public good, and who have made significant, demonstrable, and direct contributions to our community's well-being. On behalf of Horizon Community Funds and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, congratulations to the recipients of the 2023 Horizon Award, Amy and Tony Milburn. Amy and Tony first met on a blind date at a Reds game. Since then, they have worked as a team to build their relationship, start a family, establish businesses, renovate buildings, and contribute to their church and community. Tony and Amy spent their first 16 years together in the Licking Riverside neighborhood, where they developed their love for both historic buildings and the Covington community, and they have worked passionately to develop both ever since. More recently, Tony partnered to start Flow, a property management company located in Covington, is a partner in Neat Suites, a company that manages short-term rentals, and launched a new venture, Winsel Whiskey, with local partners. Amy has continued to develop her passion for Montessori schools by helping to launch Covington Community Montessori in 2020, and she continues to serve on its board of directors. Let's hear more from this dynamic couple about what it means to be recognized for the amazing work they've done within the Northern Kentucky community and their advice for the next generation.
It means the world to us to be recognized by the Horizon Fund. They do so much good work in Northern Kentucky.
Northern Kentucky is so blessed with so many wonderful organizations that help so many different causes and different people. The leadership of so many of these organizations is fantastic. So being involved in your community, you're going to learn so much and meet so many people.
I would recommend people just find one thing that's going on in Northern Kentucky that applies to your passion and just show up. Just show up, just to one thing, and that'll get the ball rolling, and that'll get you started. And you'll be amazed at how much you get out of it.
I've had the opportunity to mentor with a number of people that were involved in different kind of campaigns or capital campaigns or fundraisers. I've learned so much from so many different people. It's just been an awesome experience. We also have to thank the Horizon Fund.
Absolutely.
And the directors of the Horizon Fund for this. And we also have to give a shout out to the rest of our family, because it's the Milburn Family Foundation that we've been able to do so much of this work, and that's a group effort through the whole family.
Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Tony and Amy Milburn as the 2023 Horizon Award honorees. Presenting the award tonight is Nancy Grayson, President and CEO of Horizon Community Funds of Northern Kentucky. Tony and Amy Milburn and the entire Milburn family, congratulations on your recognition once again this evening. And now for our final award of the evening, the Walter R. Dunleavy Frontiersman Award, sponsored by Northern Kentucky University and the NKU Foundation.
The Northern Kentucky University Foundation is proud to sponsor the 2023 Walter R. Dunleavy Frontiersman Award. Established in 1968, the Dunleavy Award recognizes individuals who have a lifelong history of providing outstanding service to the Northern Kentucky community, exhibit outstanding service to their profession or industry, and exemplify the highest standard of personal integrity and family responsibility. On behalf of Northern Kentucky University, the Northern Kentucky University Foundation, and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, congratulations to the recipient of the 2023 Walter R. Dunleavy Frontiersman Award, David Heydrich, CEO of Zala Companies and founder and fund manager of the NKY Growth Fund. A Northern Kentucky native, David has spent 20 years serving as the CEO of Zala Companies, a real estate development and management company with a variety of commercial properties throughout the Northern Kentucky metro. He also serves as chairman of Level 4 Construction, a company engaged in the commercial construction industry for projects both in and outside of the Zala portfolio. This is in addition to serving as the founder and fund manager of the NKY Growth Fund, an angel and seed capital organization that makes strategic investments in small enterprises. It is the first Northern Kentucky fund to be qualified under the Kentucky Investment Fund Act of 2010 and has invested in more than 15 locally based startup companies. I'm also proud to recognize David as an NKU Chase College of Law alum. David is a past chair of the NKY Chamber Board of Directors, and in 2022, the Chamber awarded him with the Northern Kentucky Community Award, which recognizes those that have made a positive impact in the community. Let's hear from David about what it means to be recognized for his lifetime of service to his profession, as well as to the Northern Kentucky community.
It's an honor. I'm grateful. It makes me think of a lot of great people that are as equally deserving as I may be for this award. It also reminds me of how important the Chamber of Commerce is. The Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, to me, has been steadfast in advocating for the people and the issues of Northern Kentucky like no one else. I've had the benefit of living here for 64 years, and during that time, you come to understand that everyone in our community shares a yearning to be part of a cohesive, inclusive region that is identifiable, has a sense of place. I think it is our charge to try to identify and reduce the structural impediments to that cohesiveness. And then at the same time, to develop the places and the programs or opportunities that will allow that vision to be realized as a shared experience for everybody. Who do I owe for this opportunity? Well, first, 43 years ago, I married really well. Paula's been a great partner and continues to be a great partner. Certainly my mom and dad, who throughout their lives spent time in volunteer service leadership. I've also been blessed to have great partners and a supportive staff at Zala Companies and my other endeavors, who understand that you have to give back where you hope to make a living. They allowed me to do this.
And one last time, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating David Heydrich, recipient of the 2023 Walter R. Dunleavy Frontiersman Award. And presenting the award tonight is Benita Brown, interim president of Northern Kentucky University. So a big congratulations to David and a big congratulations once again to all of tonight's honorees. Can we give them one more really large round of applause? So now it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage your 2023-2024 NKY Chamber Board Chair, Mr. John Hawkins. Let's give him a big round of applause as he comes to the stage.
I need to take a moment here and just take it all in and appreciate the fact that Northern Kentucky is in the house. Northern Kentucky is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. They have this perfunctory "good evening, ladies and gentlemen" thing on my teleprompter, but I thought that would be more fun. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here and being a part of this special evening that we call the Northern Kentucky Chamber's Annual Dinner. I am humbled to be your board chairman, and I'm excited to continue to serve and represent our business community as we move into this new fiscal year. Before I begin, I would like to take a few moments and thank some individuals for their support this past year, starting with my fellow board of directors members that we had to stand up earlier, as well as our members of the executive committee, which have been outstanding as a sounding board for me, and I want you to know how much I appreciate your leadership and your support in our executive committee meetings. And a special thanks to my good friend Brent Cooper and his team and all that they've done and being instrumental in moving the needle on our goals this past year. Let's give them a round of applause, please. I'd also like to personally welcome and recognize my friends and family who are here with us tonight in attendance. Again, I'd like to say congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. You're not just great members and leaders of our business community, but also outstanding individuals who are making our region a great place to live, work, play, learn, and give back. As you heard earlier tonight, the Northern Kentucky Chamber is growing, and our region is the fastest growing region in the state, 42%. That is incredible. If it was a fight, they'd stop it. This is an important correlation because as your Chamber of Commerce, it's important to know that as we remain strong and vibrant, but more importantly, that as we remain in touch and in tune, and as someone said earlier, humble and in touch with the needs of our business community, this allows us to bring value-added insights, expertise, knowledge, and agency to the things which benefit our community and, where appropriate, challenge our business community to stay relevant and ahead of the potential challenges so we can capitalize on emerging opportunities. Today, our membership includes over 1,700 businesses of all sizes across all industries. This represents an important critical mass of businesses in our community, and many of you here are with us tonight, and for that, we're grateful. If you're not yet a member of the Chamber of Commerce, we want to welcome you to join us. We want you to join us for the ride. We want to ensure that we are a welcoming, inclusive, and representative business community in all that we do. Our board and staff members work hard to advocate on behalf of our members and to provide programming and resources that support our region's businesses and the region's economy. We continue to make significant strides to ensure that Northern Kentucky has a vibrant and robust business community, and that all businesses, large and small, long established and startups, major corporations and mom and pop shops, know that Northern Kentucky is growing, evolving, and ready to embrace the challenges ahead for the business and community growth. Just look at Donna Sawyer's Fabulous Furs and Tony Lamb's Cone Ice, two wonderful businesses that started right here in Northern Kentucky, both of which will soon be inducted into the Kentucky Entrepreneurial Hall of Fame. Let's take a moment and give them a round of applause. We used to have a saying in my days at Procter & Gamble that if you're not growing, you're dying. Because we knew the value of growth, because a 1 percentage point change in market share could cost or result in millions of dollars in lost revenue for some key brands,
which our competitors would capitalize on. So yes, business and community growth and development is a competitive proposition. And we're not only growing, but as a part of that growth, there are significant consequences. For example, today, 63 of Kentucky's 120 counties are losing population density. This has a material impact on how our state is viewed abroad and our ability to attract the type of talent needed to sustain the region's growth. To achieve our ultimate goals, we must continue to focus on the work outlined in the Chamber's 3 strategic priorities, which you can see on the screen here tonight. In our recent survey, 4 out of 5 Chamber members agree that these are the most important things that we should be working on. When you hear us talking about the importance of being a welcoming business community, regardless of race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation, it's because we know that when communities that are welcoming, they win the battle for talent. It's not just who we are and aspire to be, but who we need to be if we're going to live up to our mission of promoting business growth and an improved economy here in Northern Kentucky. Thank you. We're fortunate that our region is home to a number of outstanding employers, all of which have made a commitment to our region and have an interest in recruiting world-class talent. As Brent mentioned earlier tonight regarding the things driving our region's growth and talent, talent is at its core. These employers and our members will tell you that there are a number of issues that need to be addressed when it comes to regional workforce. In our recent Chamber survey, results confirm what we've been hearing from the board and community leaders, that workforce remains the top overarching concern, and it also provided feedback and direction for programming and advocacy efforts here at the Chamber. The top 3 concerns for businesses were finding skilled talent, improving the overall economy, and retaining that talent. The top 3 priorities to getting employees back to work were affordable and available child care, mental health, and transportation. This year, you will continue to hear us talk about these important topics and much more, such as increasing access to quality child care, increased workplace learning, affordable and attainable housing, legal immigration policies that make sense, and transportation for our employees. In order to be effective in our advocacy, we have to align the region on advocacy. We recognize that part of the charm of living in Northern Kentucky is the uniqueness, variety, and pride that exists within each of our cities and communities. The subtle nuances that distinguish each community are a wonderful part of our collective culture. I fell in love with this community over 30 years ago when I moved here. That being said, there are times when it is in our collective best interest to come together as one Northern Kentucky for the benefit of all. In those times when we need to speak with one voice in Frankfurt or in Washington, D.C. to ensure that our political power is in line with our population and economic contribution to the state. Moving forward as one Northern Kentucky will maintain the charm of our local communities while maximizing the collective impact which comes from being the 2nd largest population base in the Commonwealth. Moving forward as one Northern Kentucky also means that we must continue to nurture business growth. As the region continues to grow, and we want to be well positioned to grow and meet the needs of our communities. At the Chamber, members have access to a variety of programs designed to not only support their businesses, but their employees as well. Again, Brent talked about this earlier when he mentioned some of those programs, but it doesn't stop there. For example, we offer a variety of affinity programs or cost-saving programs that provide access to savings on many important needs that employers have, such as health care, health insurance, office supplies, human resources support, and even advertising to help reduce daily expenses, manage operations more efficiently, and help to grow your business. But we're not alone in this work. In addition to what the Chamber is providing, organizations like the ones you've seen on the screen, many of which are here tonight, are providing resources, counsel, programming, and connections that are critical to supporting our region's small businesses and future startups. The state of Kentucky recently received over $100 million from the federal government as a part of the SSBCI grant, which targets economic development for entrepreneurs. We want to ensure that we're doing our part to ensure that Northern Kentucky gets its fair share of that investment. Dave Knox, I'm not sure if Dave Knox is here tonight, but Dave Knox at Blue North will tell you, we must make it easier for entrepreneurs to see that Northern Kentucky Metro is a great place for them to realize their dreams. Moving forward as one also means providing our young professionals the support they need to be successful. We recognize how important young professionals are to our region. That's why we are investing heavily in our Northern Kentucky Young Professionals programming. And I hope that each of the organizations represented here tonight will encourage their young professionals to engage in our chamber and in our community. We cannot afford to lose another generation of business leaders to other regions around the country because Northern Kentucky isn't cool. Based on the things that we've seen tonight, we know how cool Northern Kentucky is. Please turn your attention to the screen to learn more about the why behind NKYP. That's excellent. So now I have a big announcement to make. We've been working hard the past few months, meeting with business leaders and key stakeholders in the largest cities in Boone and Campbell counties. And we're excited tonight to announce the formation of the Florence Business Council and the Fort Thomas Business Council. These new business councils will help business owners in their respective cities better connect to local officials as well as the overall region through a collaborative relationship with the Northern Kentucky Chamber. We view this as an integral part of our success strategy in moving the region forward. Our hope is that all our regional business councils will feel like they are strongly connected to the Chamber of Commerce. Our goal is to help them to better serve the needs of their business communities and align the region on advocacy and regional priorities. We want to extend an invitation to all regional business councils as we work together to move the region forward as one. On behalf of the Northern Kentucky Chamber, I want to personally thank a number of individuals who have helped to make this effort possible. Florence Mayor Julie Abershaw, Florence City Administrator Josh Hunt, and David Wallace, President and CEO of Heritage Bank, who's agreed to be the first chair of the Florence Business Council. We're excited to announce as well tonight the first meeting of the Florence Business Council, which will take place on October the 19th at Turfway Park. And I'd also like to thank Fort Thomas Mayor Eric Haas, Fort Thomas Business Association Chair Mark Collier, and everyone on the Fort Thomas Business Association board for embracing this concept and agreeing to rebrand and make this happen. We are excited to announce tonight that the Fort Thomas Business Council's first meeting will be held on September the 28th at the Fort Thomas City Building. As you can see, one NKY is not just a catchphrase for us. It's about action. We want to ensure that we are leading by example and doing our part to facilitate this outcome. As I said earlier, we are embracing the idea that a part of the charm of living in Northern Kentucky is the uniqueness, variety, and pride that exists within each of our cities. We feel like these councils will help better connect the businesses and organizations within their respective communities with each other and their government officials, while at the same time helping to better connect them to the things happening around our region. Big things are ahead, and I couldn't be more excited. So in closing, I want to thank you again for joining us this evening. I'm honored to continue in my role as your Northern Kentucky Chamber Board Chair, and I look forward to the year ahead. Together, we will continue to move this region forward, and for that, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again to John. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening for this wonderful celebration. Did you all have a good time? Well, then there is some good news for you because the evening isn't over yet for you. I got to go back to work and do the 11 o'clock newscast, so I'm going home. But we hope that you will join us for the official after party just across the street at the Metropolitan Club. And thanks to our nightcap sponsor, DBL Law, you get to enjoy your first drink for free. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? Give it up for that sponsor right there. And finally, we are asking that all of this evening's award winners and the award sponsors come to the stage for the official photos we're going to take as soon as we conclude. Thank you all so much for attending tonight. Get home safely and have a wonderful evening.